Welcome back, all my free thinkers, to another evening edition of the Grow Rich, Grow Happy Crypto Show. Guys, fun fact about me. I like studying cults. Yeah, I'm weird. I like movies and different whatnots with cults and things, but not for the traditional sense, what you would think, like for horror or anything like that. I like it because I study the people in the cultish like environment. You know, a cult can be many things. A lot of times when people say cult, they are really referring to a religious people who follow religious factions, or they bow down to one person, and it's kind of cultish because everybody will come after you. Crypto can be considered a cult. But when we talk about cults, the way I'm talking about it in the crypto sense, but more so the symbolic nature that outlines these cults. We see it with XRP. We call them the XRP army, but let's just face it, they're really cults. We see it with Bitcoin maxis. You definitely see it with Metallicus. When I run into a cult, they pique my interest. They make me want to study them a little bit further. And when I say study them, I mean just sit back and I watch how things transpire. And one thing I have to say, the one that interests me most is the one that Marshall Hayner has. Metallicus, XPR Network, Loan, anything that's under that umbrella. I watch the devotion that people have to them, and it makes you say, these people really believe in this mission that they have. And it is a mission, guys. They're changing the way credit unions do business. And I can't turn away sometimes. Sometimes I'm looking at them and I watch a lot of their members and I'm like, man, these guys really, really believe in this, which in turn makes me dig deeper, makes me watch from afar. That's what we're going to talk about. Now, anybody who follows Metallicus or have followed them for any length of time, you will see their obsession with the color purple. The color purple. It's an obsession. I love purple. I have purple dress clothes, purple shoes, but mine ain't so much for the same reasons. I love the color purple. Maybe that's the reason I like them. But, you know, if you was to dig deeper into purple, you'll see that purple is not just the color purple. Purple dates back to royalty, elites, elitism. Why? That's why research comes in handy. When you really dig down, there's a color purple called tyranny or tyranny, depending, this was a color that cost a lot of money to make. Why? Because it was made from sea snails and it cost a lot of money. The reason being because to make 1 ounce of the color purple, that dye, it would take 250,000 sea snails to do that. Before all you PETA people come along and anybody who say, well, that's terrible for the sea snails. They don't do that anymore. But they did back then. Hence why royalty was the only people that you saw wearing it, because they were the only ones who could afford it. Now there's deeper meanings to purple, but I'm just going to keep it at that. Well, when you look at that and you look at the ties that it has to Mr. Hayner and his company, purple, you see that it's royalty. And you could just go down their page, and we'll do that later. But if you just go down their page, you'll see purple everywhere. And I love purple. But, it's the reason that I got attracted to them and started studying them. Well, I was looking today, and I just wanted to start off with that, guys, because I like history. some history, but I like that. I like conspiracy theories. I like all of that stuff, cults and stuff, and it makes me study people. Some cults will run you away, but I like that. So I'm going to be talking about Frank Meza today. He's the director of blockchain for the institutions at fintechs at Metal Blockchain. He be putting out a lot of articles, but one he put out yesterday, I believe. What's today? Yeah, he put it out yesterday, and it's called "Wait, What's a Stablecoin and Why Your Credit Union Should Be Paying Attention." That caught my attention because when I really thought about it, I said we have a lot of newbies to crypto on this channel, and a lot of you by now you probably understand that a stablecoin is pegged to the dollar, but it's a little bit more than that. And it's a reason why it is changing the way a lot of banks and credit unions are going to be moving forward. So his article was right on point, and I figured I want to take a few things out of it, and I wanted to start it off like that to make you understand that these guys are really on to something. And again, they're moving. And that's another thing about cults. They typically are hidden. They're hidden and they move in the shadows. And before you know it, they grow in numbers. It happens. That's why I pay attention to them a lot. So we're going to talk about it, guys. Now, he started this off like this. And this is what hooked me. He said, let's be honest. If someone dropped the word stablecoin at a credit union conference a couple years ago, you probably would have thought it sounds too risky. He's absolutely correct, because back then people didn't want to hear crypto. When I say people, I mean banks, credit unions, which is why Coinbase, Crypto.com, Robinhood stole a lot of their customers. You had people taking their money elsewhere. They may have kept some money in the banks and kept it in the credit unions, but when it came to doing business with crypto, they say, I'm going over to Coinbase because you guys are old news and you guys are just not seeing the future. So hence, I like what Metal Blockchain is doing. They're helping these archaic systems catch up. He says now, stablecoins are no longer fringe crypto experiments. They've become one of the most widely used digital payments tools in the world, moving billions of dollars, guys, billions across blockchains. And here's the kicker. Credit unions are in the perfect position to take advantage of them. Now, what they're proposing and what they're working on technically is each credit union pretty much produce their own stablecoin. What does this do? To a lot of you looking in on our side, so how does this benefit me? Well, what's going to happen is you're going to see these banks, you're going to see these credit unions now be able to take back some of that Robinhood money, take back some of that Coinbase and Crypto.com money, KuCoin, Mexi, all of those out there. They're going to be able to play in the big leagues now of crypto, and now is the time you really want to play. You really want to play ball, because this is where a lot of the money is going now. You see in the commercials, you see the videos I make. So these companies, if they want to stay in business and keep their customers, because what it comes down to is customer loyalty. And the best way to keep customer loyalty is listen to your customers. You need to listen to them. And if they want to buy crypto now, you're going to have to find a way to give it to them, but you're going to have to find a way to give it to them that works with your business model and how, you're trusted. You're trusted, and you don't want to lose their trust and abuse their trust. So you need to find a way to operate in the crypto space while keeping that trust. So Metal, working with these credit unions, they're doing that. They're doing that on a major level. And I'm going to drop his article down below so you guys can see it, because I think it's great for someone out there trying to explain crypto to someone who is new and helping them understand that, guys, you need to get in on this. Well, he said the first stable coins basically came out in 2014. 2014, guys. That was a while ago now. And there were earlier versions like BitUSD and Tether, who's still around today. They were born out of the idea of what if we had a digital dollar that could move like crypto but act like cash. And for my new people out here, and that's why I like the beginners on this channel, because you're hungry for knowledge. The problem was with crypto before all of this, no one could really do business with you because it was so volatile, the prices of crypto, that it could change within a matter of seconds before a bank really started doing business. But when the stable coins were born, that's 1-to-1. So it's the digital dollar. This is why I say our dollar probably is not going to have a chance probably maybe 10, 20 years from now. A lot of people say it's stupid to think that, but I really think once you get this digital dollar going, and if everybody can make a stable coin like this article is proposing, guys, the dollar's in trouble. So now a lot of these credit unions are like, okay, how do we get involved? Because you got to realize when it comes to banks, the next layer down is credit unions, and they want to be able to keep their customers. Plus they want to attract customers. Like, I'm glad my bank actually doesn't have problems with me buying crypto, but I don't keep my crypto at my bank because I can't. But the way this is going, you're going to be able to with credit unions. Now, he also said on here, why should credit unions care? Why should they care? And for anybody out here listening to this that may work for a credit union, you definitely want to read this, especially if your credit union is not equipped or not even open to the idea of integrating blockchain. Faster payments, you get to move money in seconds, not days, nights, weekends, holidays, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, it doesn't change. The price of that token won't change. Lower costs, you get to cut out the middleman, reduce transaction fees, and simplify settlements. All of these things, some of your customers don't even know they need this, but they need this. Member access to the digital dollar. It lets members send and receive money instantly, even across borders. That is the important part right there, just like Ripple is doing. Being able to send money back home. We have so many people in the United States that still take care of their family abroad that need to send money there. And before, let's face it, it was taking days, maybe even a week to get there. Now they can do it within seconds at the fraction of the cost using blockchain and feeless if you're using metal. Plus, it's a new revenue stream. You earn yield on stablecoin reserves. Yes, you get to earn yield and you get to stay competitive. And that's the thing. You have to stay competitive because these other people like Coinbase, and I've named them all, Robinhood, these guys are coming, or they're here, and they are your biggest competitors. But here's the major key. You get to keep your members from moving funds to fintech apps and crypto wallets. That is the key right there, guys. A lot of people felt like it was too risky. Hell, it's people that, and I know they're not subscribed here, they think that crypto is just too risky. I think, matter of fact, I know when you bring in stablecoin, it does just that. It stabilizes everything and it takes a lot of that risk away. Now, by doing it with these credit unions, you got to realize something. The credit unions, I've really been thinking about this, and these credit unions, this is a smart play, because credit unions, every person that I know that does business with a credit union, they love their credit unions, guys. Whether it's Navy, Federal, or whoever, they love their credit unions. They can just go in their credit unions. They know a lot of these small credit unions, a lot of these small branches, they know them by name, and it's the people that they trust. Therefore, as crypto continues to grow, and it's growing in the fast pace that it is right now, and we're waiting on this stablecoin bill, and we got these new crypto regulations rolling out. The people who get there first are usually the people that's going to get the biggest rewards. That's why I can't ignore what Marshall Hayner and Metallicus is doing, because a lot of people just they're actually either you don't know about them or you know about them and you're so caught up in XRP that it offends you to say XPR. But you're not looking at the big picture, zooming out and seeing that it is a need. And anybody know anything about investing knows, they have to know this, that it is a need. If your cryptocurrency doesn't fulfill a need, chances are it's not going to be around. It's not going to be around. And because of that, I made the decision a long time ago to change the tokens that I was holding in my wallet that I was calling the next coming, and I was calling financial freedom. Because of that, and also because of the symbolism of Metallicus and the color purple, I just think anything under their umbrella is worth taking a look at. I see a lot on loan token and different things of that nature. And I know I've been critical of the fact that it's so hard to buy it. Maybe not for me, but for someone who's coming in and wanting to get a hold of it. It's difficult. They can figure out how to get XPR, but when, Coinbase has such a name that it's easy to get, you can just sign up and get it, or you can go on and get crypto.com. These guys has forged a name with marketing that sometimes people forget about the wallet that you can use for Metallicus, unless you're part of the cult. When you're part of that code, you understand it. Therefore, a lot of you out there, you're like, well, it's simple. It's a no-brainer. You need this wallet. You need to get the wallet. And then you can get loan and you can get all of these tokens, metal, and all of them, and your future is set. I believe that. It's not easy for some people to do. So a lot of times they just go for the XPR network. Typically when I'm online and I see the people talking about loan and talking about it's the future, it's going to make you wealthy and different things. Typically they got purple in their logo. And that tells me that they understand. They really understand. But what I want for a lot of these people out here who are not so savvy to have that easy way to just say, okay, let me get it. And I don't know what it is, if it's marketing or whatever. Some people have suggested to me that it's intentional, that Metal and Marshall Hayner and them was like, okay, we're still just going to keep it this way. And boom, you guys are just going to get surprised when it does become easy. And we're ready now to accept this influx of people that's going to come in. And if you're like me, you don't want to wait for that. I think it's worth actually trying to figure out how to get on their platform and try to get loan token, try to get Metal Dio and all of these others before the masses actually flood in and get it. As I was looking at this article that he made, I said this is right on point, because it talks directly to the beginner of crypto. And for someone who's trying to learn crypto or understand what is a stable coin or why is it important and why would my credit union be entertaining such a notion, I highly suggest you read this. This was a great read. I actually ended up on it by accident, but I'm going to leave it down below. And guys, let me know down below. I'm asking now for the people who are very, you're in the cult. You're entrenched in Metal. Is there like a simple way for the novice to get in and like get loan and different things without, trying to get in and then they just catch a headache and say, I can't do it, I'll come back later? Let me know down below what you guys think. But overall, I like their project. You guys let me know down below what you think. I'm out.